Hey, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome and thank you for stopping by. In today's video, I'm going to do another set of interview. The reason I'm doing this the way because sometimes I travel and most of my job is to interview influencer and social changer, change maker, business entrepreneur. And you can have an idea how to either create a nonprofit, how to make a change in the world, or how to put your business together. And today, I have the privilege to interview Mrs. Heidi Kuhn from Roots and Peace organization. She's carried that legacy of Princess Diana about mine, to remove mine from the ground and plant wine inside. Move your mind to be a wine. And she's been doing a lot of great job, and she's an inspiration for people all over the world. And I'm so glad I will get that interview with her. The 68th UN at the Utah Salt Lake Convention Center. Today it was a big event, finish day for the UN, who were invited by the mayor of Salt Lake. I have the opportunity to meet somebody I admire for her work. Now we're going to ask her what the take she had from the conference. This is Mrs. Heidi Klum.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to work with the United Nations. You know, in September 1997, I lifted my glass in a prophetic toast. May the world go from mines to vines, replacing the scourge of landmines with bountiful vineyards and orchards. I was inspired to make that toast as a mother of 4 children because the legacy of the late Princess Diana of Wales, when she was tragically killed on that Labor Day weekend, that fateful day of August 31st, 1997, I thought so humbly, what could I possibly do as just one mother to alleviate the suffering of the innocent footsteps that walk the world, little children like my own when I was a young mother 22 years ago, who kick a soccer ball out of bounds and retrieve the only soccer ball in town only to lose their limb. And the little children, the little girls who come repatriate in Bosnia-Herzegovina, picking flowers in the fields of their home for their mother. One little girl stepped on a landmine. And what happens to the other? Of course, her best friends all came in to help her. Boom, boom, boom. 3 children died tragically in that field as the deminers went as fast as they could, holding their mothers and fathers back from running in there. Those children died screaming for their mom and dad to help them. They died slowly. And at that moment, as a mother, we need at this moment to dig deeper for peace than ever before. And I am so honored to say that when I did make that toast on September 21st, 1997, which has since become, since that time, the United Nations International Day of Peace, it was the United Nations that answered the call of a mother. In 1945, June 26, 1945, the UN Charter was signed, and my grandfather was in the room of the War Memorial Building in San Francisco. He was the past president of the Rotary Club of San Francisco, William Hill Thomas, in 1941 to 42, and that was during World War II. After the guns had silenced from World War II, the world came together, and it was Franklin Delano Roosevelt who called the world to convene, not in a conference center like we are, but under the redwood trees of Muir Woods. He unfortunately died in April 1945, but the original delegates of the United Nations went into Marin County, where I am a fifth generation resident, and these stories were imparted upon me through my ancestors, and my childhood grew up respecting the United Nations. It was May 19th, 1945, and in the midst, in a little black and white area of Muir Woods, you'll see a tiny plaque and the photo of the original delegates who gathered. The next month, the world came together in San Francisco, and on June 26, 1945, the United Nations signed the Charter. At that time, of course, people never thought the Pacific Coast was worth anything. So they moved the vision of the United Nations. Vision began in Marin County, where I'm fifth generation. The vision moved to the United Nations in New York City. And of course, the rest is history. So as a mother, when we had fax machines back then, I wrote a fax at the invitation of a dear friend of mine, a respectful woman, Gillian Martin Sorensen, who was the Assistant Secretary General, and with Maria Reyes, her secretary, and Mitch Werner, and Dr. Noel Brown, there were truly angels on that 38th floor. And when a mother from the basement of her home sends a fax to the 38th floor saying, "I have an idea to turn mines to vines," and I'll never forget that night when I heard a beep, 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 and the children were asleep, and I thought, oh, what could it be? And I ran downstairs like Christmas, and I saw the letterhead coming up. Remember that sound of the fax machine? And I saw the UN letterhead, and I thought, oh my goodness. In the paper, it was from Gillian, and she told me that Mrs. Nananan would join me in San Francisco on April 20th, 1998, to launch Roots of Peace. Well, there was another lovely woman in that room. We had several hundred women at the World Trade Club in San Francisco, and my congresswoman came at that time, and she sat next to me like we are, exactly to my right, and she looked at me and she said, "Heidi, go turn your mines to vines, your blood into wine, your killing fields into vineyards, and your swords into plowshares. I will never leave your side." Years later, she became the first woman Speaker of the House, my Congressman, Nancy Pelosi. And just a few months ago, in January, I received a call while on vacation with my dear family, now 4 children and 3 grandchildren. I've been walking the minefields for a long time, and my husband. And, it's precious time with my family, but I said, guys, I'll spend New Year's with you, but Gigi, Global Granny's got to leave, because Nancy Pelosi once again asked me to be there to witness her being sworn in as Speaker of the House. And beyond our politics, beyond our religions, I honor that. And as women, supporting one another. And it's so proud for me to be here in the state of Utah with the United Nations convening. I met my husband skiing here on April 4th, 1977. So, Utah has always brought love in my heart. And 42 years later, we are planting the roots of peace on earth. And the significance of our presence here today, as you can see, we're taking down the entire the gnat sound in the background, the entire exhibit, and as we can see, the faces of our Roots of Peace booth, the faces of Afghanistan, the faces of Vietnam, the faces of Africa, the faces, the backs of women, and the importance of peace, of family and peace. I mean, really. So Roots of Peace has been very blessed in so many ways, and my wife's grandmother always taught me something very special. She taught me, Heidi, coincidence is a miracle in which God prefers to remain anonymous. In other words, there are no accidents. And when I was invited after another UN story on the 21st of September 2018, this last September, the Nobel Peace Prize family, Marcus Nobel, invited me on the UN International Day of Peace. Well, that's our 21st anniversary of Roots of Peace. And a passionate woman named Ann Bigging from the Healing Hotels of the World came up and said, you must speak at my conference. And she was so convincing that I said, of course I would. And I was leaving that moment, and the doors opened up of the elevator, and who was there dressed in white like an angel but Mrs. Kofi Annan, Nana, who helped me launch Roots of Peace. And she was coming up on the diplomatic floor, on the fourth floor, having come to Kofi Annan's memorial service.
You got a lot of good memories, not even at the UN, but the people you help. What you want people to understand about your work?
Well, I think, now that the event is over and it's time to close shop here, what are we going to tell the world we've done in Salt Lake City to help achieve the important sustainable development goals? And we have something very, very special at the end of town, because the woman I met at the conference in Portugal this May, when she heard the passion that we had for Princess Diana, quietly came up to my daughter Kylie and I after speaking, a mother and a daughter, and said, "Please tell me your story." And as we told her the truth, her eyes teared up, and she said, "I am Jasmine Al Fayed. My brother is dead. He also died in that tragic car crash." And with the entrusting of her heart, of a dress, beautiful dress that was given to her by Princess Diana when she was only 16 years old. She was on a yacht that last summer, and as was Diana, with her little teenage boys, Harry and Wills, 13, 15, and 16, and Dodie and Diana. The paparazzi came and they went under the boat. And when Diana asked her what she wanted to be when she grew up, she said, "Oh, I want to be in fashion." And Diana, as told to me by Jasmine, said, "Well, what was your favorite dress?" And she said, "Of course, the Versace off the shoulders." Well, when they were leaving on the airplane to go back to their respective homes, Diana presented a box wrapped with a bow and gave her the Versace dress as a gift. And she kept that precious gift. A week later, Versace was killed, and a month later, both Diana and Dodie were gone. So as we close shop here from the UN, this is the advent of Labor Day weekend. This is the humble anniversary of the tragic death of Princess Diana. But yet we live in a world today where 60 million landmines are silently poised in 60 countries. So Roots of Peace has the beautiful dress that Jasmine has given us, and that's now at the Leonardo Museum, the 500th anniversary of Leonardo da Vinci, with inspiration and creativity, and bringing that inspiration and creativity to the next 500 years. How are we going to solve the world's most pressing problems? And I'm very grateful to Alexandra Hess and the entire board of directors of the Leonardo Museum, who have created a nearly 5,000 square foot exhibition showing the world the impact of landmines, and walking through and seeing Diana's dress alongside the flak jacket, the blue dress in contrast to the blue flak jacket. And as they come through the tunnel, they will see the impact of what Roots of Peace and that Little Minds to Vines toast has had. Roots of Peace has planted 5 million fruit trees in all 34 provinces of Afghanistan and impacted 1 million farmers and families. We've planted rice in Cambodia, grapes in Afghanistan, orchards in Croatia, wheat in Iraq, and we're just getting started. So we're making an announcement this week, Roots of Peace, a capital campaign to raise $20 million to eradicate all landmines in Quang Tri province. That's the former DMZ. And when I was a young girl watching a black and white television in the 1960s, I learned of something called a body count. I couldn't understand why these boys were coming back, and a body count of those who were lost. I grew up and decided I was going to get an education and do something about it. I graduated from University of California at Berkeley in political economics, and went on with my husband, Gary King, to turn this idea into reality. And So we are, by Earth Day 2020, we have a very clear vision to eradicate all the landmines, UXOs, and mainly cluster munitions that were dropped from the air. 80% of the land in Palm Tree today is riddled with landmines. And really explosive remnants of war is the proper way to say it. It's riddled with explosive remnants of war. But quite frankly, I don't care what it's called. It blows off a child's roof. It takes a farmer from cultivating a field. And Roots of Peace since then with my son Tucker Kuhn, who went over there to start a program in 2010. 3,000 Vietnamese farmers are now growing black pepper on former minefields. And we're shipping that black pepper from the battlefields being sold to Morton & Bassett Spice Company. And he's put the logo of Roots of Peace on every bottle of pepper that will be distributed this month all throughout the United States of America. And to me, that is a taste of peace. Yep. So this Friday at 9 o'clock, we invite you and the world to come through the exhibit. Just bring one white rose, the healing power of one white rose, and let's place it in front of that blue dress and that blue flak jacket. And perhaps with the help of the UN, we can make this virtual, that a white rose on Friday in tribute to the legacy of Princess Diana and Dodi Al-Fayed, whose little sister contributed something so heartfelt, only for the sole purpose of carrying on that spirit of Diana for the eradication of landmines from the face of this earth.
This is powerful, and love what you do. And also, I hope that everyone think about Roots of Peace. A little cup, no matter where you are, you can also donate, because everyone need to do their part. And the spirit of Princess Diana. Thank you.
Dear friends, thank you all so much for being here and supporting my dear friend in her noble quest. It is with great humility and pride that I'm able to share this in the same spirit with you today, Heidi, Roots of Peace, and the Leonardo. I knew this dress that I have safeguarded for so long was meant to be with you during our synchronistic encounter, and so this emblem of her spirit could be reunited with her heartfelt mission. May it continue to serve and encourage the higher purpose and global dream of those who wish to eradicate landmines worldwide by 2025. Thank you.
Goodbye, England's rose. May you ever grow in our hearts. You are the grace, the place itself, where lives were torn apart. You called out to our country, and you whispered to those in pain. Now you belong to heaven, where the stars spell out your name. And it seems to me you've lived your life like a candle in the wind, never fading with the sunset when the rain set in. And your footsteps will always fall here along England's greenest hills. Your candles burned out long before your legend ever will. Loveliness we've lost, these empty days without your smile. This torch will always carry for our nation's golden child. And even though we try, the truth brings us to tears. All our words cannot express the joy you brought us through the years. And it seems to me you've lived your life like a candle in the wind, never fading with the sunset when the rain set in. burned out long before your legend ever will. Goodbye, England's rose. May you ever grow in our hearts. You were the grace to place itself where lives were torn apart. Goodbye, England's rose. From the country lost without your soul. Who miss the wings of your compassion more than you will ever know. And it seems to me you've lived your life like a candle in the wind, never fading with the sunset when the rain set in. And your footsteps will always fall here along England's greenest hills. Your candles burned out long before your legend ever will.
I hope you like my video, and if you want another video like this, don't forget to subscribe, share, and like, and click the bell notification. You can be the first person to know when I put a video, because my channel is different. Is about business, entrepreneur, CEO, profit, non-profit, philanthropies, and whoever doing something to make a change. I hope you like it. See you next time.